Behind me, you see the food forest that we put in last year. We put in 3 lines. We have 1 line over here. We've got 1 line straight behind me, and then behind this tall grass, there's another line. We are coming in for the first reset, which is we're kind of trimming back everything, laying that all on the ground, and then pruning all the trees and stuff, and that kind of gives it a boost of energy for them to grow better, and for the smaller trees to kind of fill that space, and encourages them to all grow together. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. I will take you around, kind of show you some of the things that we have in the food forest, and yeah, we've got other lines established this year. I will show you those lines soon, but those are not ready for a reset. Those were just put in, we just planted the stuff, so it hasn't grown very well yet. So I've got my machete, I got my pruner, shears, whatever, clippers, and let's get to pruning. Okay, so next to me here we have this Mar alfalfa. It's a variety of bana grass, for those of you who know about that. Here we have Lucena. We got a lot of Lucena planted. It grows very well. It is slightly invasive, so you have to prune it and take care of it well. Make sure it doesn't go to seed, otherwise you will have a small forest around your feet. Underneath that we have some milkweed. This is the giant milkweed, or apparently it's called Sodom's apple or something like that. We got a bird pepper plant. It's a wild chili. It's tiny. It's really spicy. Underneath that we've got lemongrass, or fever grass, I think is the technical term for it. Here we've got a guava tree, a young guava tree. In between it we've planted some papaya seeds and cherimoya, custard apple, those kind of things. They haven't shot up very tall yet. Let me see. I'll take you over and we'll show you some of the other trees. Okay, and behind me here we have one variety of moringa. This is Moringa stenopetala from East Africa, and we're going to be pruning that. It's kind of, I don't know what's disturbing it. It's got all these yellow leaves, so hopefully the reset will boost it, make it shoot new shoots and stuff. Again, we've got more pepper plants, more of the Lucena, stuff like that. We do have, if you see up over the top of the grass, we do have Moringa oleifera growing, and that will be pruned as well. So we just kind of have this variety of things growing in this food forest. Here's the bird chili. You can see the tiny little chilies growing. This is about as big as they get. You can see next to my finger there. This should start turning red soon. Yeah, if I take you down in here, I do have there at the end of my machete is a pineapple top that we started down in here. I really like this line. It's doing very well. We can see some of the papaya seeds are growing. Next to them, these are the cherimoya and custard apple growing there. One of the things that made me decide it was time for a reset is that the Mar alfalfa has grown up really tall. Behind me there, you can see it's way taller than I am. And also some of the moringa, like I showed to you, is not doing too well. And then also one of the bird chili plants has some kind of a virus or something. So I'm going to take it out or cut it back heavily, and then we'll see how that goes. Hopefully that transforms it and makes it better. So our first course of action is going to be to come into the rows and remove the weeds that are growing. There's little bits of grass and stuff like that. I've been doing that over the past days, but we need to do that again before placing all this new mulch on top of the ground. Okay, we are done with the weeding. I just weeded a short section here. The sun is going down, but I really want to start this reset, and I don't really have much time tomorrow. I'm heading out, so I'm just going to do a little section of it, and then we'll come back and do the rest later. So that's all right. It's ideal to do everything at once, apparently, but if you can't do it that way, that's fine. So next up, I'm going to prune the trees, because ideally in a grown system, the trees will be really high. When you prune the trees first, and any branches that fall and break on the younger ones, then you just figure out how to prune around those breaks. It's not ideal to break, but if it does happen, you know how to, solve that through the pruning. So I'm going to prune the trees first, then the smaller stuff, placing the biggest branches on the ground first, and then the leaves on top of that. And then I'll go down, prune the smaller ones, and then the grass behind us. The cows are walking by, but I stopped to show you, this is the lemongrass that was growing in here. Ideally we would lay it down on the ground just like anything else, but we use this for tea, and there's just a little bit of it, so we're going to actually drink this as tea. And then I'm going to split the clumps of lemongrass into, smaller, I don't know what it's called. It's not called scions, that's for grafting. But anyway, into little bundles, and then I'll plant those out into the other tree lines because we don't have enough lemongrass planted out right now. So that's kind of where we're at with that. This was what grew last year, and it was a little stem off the side here. I cut that off and cut this off just because this one is doing very well and growing vigorously, and shading this little, I don't know which one this is, but this is probably a custard apple. Beside it was the lemongrass. We have some chaya here. I pruned the lucena. Yeah, just coming back through here, kind of pruning the ones that aren't doing too well. Like this one, I should come and cut this one off. You can see how it grows down here. So I'm going to come in and cut that off. Just like that. And then that can just go on the ground. That's how we would just want to do it. Come through anything that's not growing as well as it should, cut it off. If it's growing in a way that could be improved, improve its lifestyle by cutting off the slower branches, because those will actually hold back the plant. This was a Moringa oleifera growing here. I cut it off at the ground. This will shoot back, and I've got the long stems here. Ideally, again, I would put this, just lay it on the ground and add the leaves on top of it. But I'm actually going to plant these stems in some of the other tree lines to propagate it, because it will actually root by branches. I don't believe this one roots very well by branches. This is the Stenopetala. So yeah, we're not going to do that with the Stenopetala, just because it's also a pretty small tree. But the Moringa oleifera has grown nice and tall. I'm going to propagate it in other tree lines with the sticks. All right, it's getting late. The sun's going down. You're not going to be able to see me very well. But basically, this is the Mara alfalfa, the Bana grass, whatever you want to call it. It's just going to get layered right along the edge here. On the edges, not inside, because the small plants grow inside, the small trees are growing. You don't want to trample them or squash them down. So you're going to layer it on the outside edges, and that's what I'm doing. I'm removing these big sticks or these big stems, because I want to plant them. I need to propagate more Mara alfalfa, and you propagate it through stems. I'm just going to cut these stems, go plant them out between the other tree rows that I just put in and haven't gotten it fully established yet. I'm going to keep working on this. It's evening time. Like I said, the sun's going down. I'm going to work until it's dark, but you guys won't be able to see me. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any tips for me, please go ahead and put them down in the comments below. If you've done food forest before, this is my first time doing it. This is my first reset, like I said. So I'm learning. We're not quite up to a full year since we put this in, of owning a food forest. So I'm super excited. I have been watching people doing food forests, and that's where I've been learning about them from. But yeah, super excited. Do food forest, even if it's a small tree line like mine. Figure it out, and yeah, thanks for coming on along the journey. Thanks for watching the video all the way to the end. Like, subscribe if you're not subscribed, comment, and we'll see more. As I learn, I will definitely show you guys more about the food forest and teach you guys how to do it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.